Okay, so I know how this looks. Alright everybody, I hope you're all good. So yeah, I bought another camera. Well, sort of anyway, let me explain. So some of you may remember that I banged on about how great the Sony Xperia 4 was a couple of years ago now. And it was great. However, I didn't quite get along with it. And it had nothing to do with the phone. The phone was great. It was more my experience with Android. I'm an Apple fanboy. I just did not have a good experience using Android, honestly. It did my head in. Not only did I miss face recognition, AirDrop, Find My iPhone, all those nice things that Apple does, but more importantly, I just missed how third-party apps seem to work flawlessly on Apple iOS. They just didn't seem to work properly on Android. Not for me anyway. For example, DJI. For some reason, every app that I tried for DJI just did not seem to work on the Android. I don't know why, just didn't. It's probably user error. If it is, then let me know in the comments, but I just did not have a great experience trying to figure this out on Android. And then there was the camera app itself, or should I say camera apps. No idea why there were 3 camera apps, but there were. So every time you wanted to use the professional features of this phone, which it was known for, you'd have to dive into a third camera app. Did my head in. So I just never used it, which kind of made the whole thing pointless. And why would you spend so much money on a flagship phone and not use the features that you're paying for? I hated it so much that about after 6 months, I sold it. Don't get me wrong, the phone was great. There was nothing wrong with it. I just didn't enjoy using it. So I sold it. And ever since, I've been using an iPhone 11. Yes, it goes back that far. An iPhone 11. It's my wife's old phone. She's got 15 now. So I've been using an iPhone 11 for about 6 months. Honestly, the camera's broken. Camera is broken, so I've not been able to use my phone to take pictures or video of my little boy for 6 months. So after slumming it for that long, I figured I was due an upgrade. So I was waiting for the 16 Pro to come out. And that's what I've gone and got. The iPhone 16 Pro. Which I think's justified, right? Anyway, this video has nothing to do with the iPhone. Well, it kind of is. It's more to do with what I've bought for the iPhone. So without making this video like 3 days long, let's just dive into what I've bought for it, shall we? Which is this little bad boy over here. So yes, I have bought the IntraLock Case by Mous. And no, this video is not sponsored. Mous did not send me this case, they did not send me any accessories. I bought this with my own money. So all the opinions and thoughts are my own and the truth. So we're going to talk about why I bought it, what I bought, and what I think about it. Now if you'd asked me 2 or 3 years ago what kind of case I'd recommend that you buy for your phone, I'd have just said buy the cheapest from Amazon. Honestly, I couldn't care less. However, ever since I bought the Sony Xperia 4 and I got that nice little case with it from Sony with the little hinge on the back that makes it so you can stand up, it's changed my overall look on what I think about cases. Because after all, these phones are expensive, so you may as well protect them. Unless you're one of those crazy folk that go caseless. I mean, you're absolute psychopaths. How do you do it? Anyway, Mous, what did I get and why did I get it? So I went with the IntraLock Case by Mous because I like my cases to be multifunctional. He says having a world of experience buying phone cases. But yeah, if I'm spending all this money on a case, I don't just want it to be pretty. So in this case, the IntraLock Case by Mous allows you to attach it to various mounts, such as your bike, your motorbike, inside your car, all those sorts of things. And the two that I've chosen is the bike mount along with the universal mount. Now the bike mount is pretty self-explanatory. I ride a bike, I like to have my phone on the bike for like sat-nav and whatnot. Whereas the universal strap is a bit more of a gamble. I kind of just bought that because it was fairly cheap. For example, some of you may know that I've had a baby, when I say me, my wife, about a year ago. But pushing a pram around town has become a part of everyday life. And being able to put the phone on the actual handlebars of the pram so you can keep both hands on the pram itself so your baby doesn't die means that you can see any notifications when people are ringing you, because when your phone's in your pocket and you're trying to push the pram around and then you've got to stop, put the brake on so the baby doesn't die, get your phone out, you've missed the call. So it's a lot easier this way. And I thought, why not? Give it a go. So yeah, the universal strap just fixes via Velcro. It's quite a strong Velcro. I'm not really a lover of Velcro, to be fair, and I'm not sure how long it's going to last. Hopefully a while, but you get 2 straps anyway. So if you've got 2 different thicknesses of, I don't know what you call it, like thicknesses of things that you want to attach it to, then you've got 2 variations. It's got like a rubberized bit under there, so it does add a little bit of extra grip when you're tightening it. It doesn't show any signs of moving, like I said, but on a pram, I mean, how much extreme movement are you gonna have? But yeah, I don't know what other use cases you might have this for. I'm not really sure where you'd put it. Would you use it as a watch? That'd be a bit silly, wouldn't it? Let's see. I think it'll fit on my fat wrists. So yeah, if you wanted to be a bit of a loser, you could actually just... Now I've got my phone on my wrist. I mean, that's pretty silly, and no one's ever going to do that. But if you wanted to, and you wanted to have a big watch, an iPhone watch, if you couldn't afford an Apple Watch, right, but you've got an Apple phone, get yourself a mouse case with the universal mount, and now you've got an Apple Watch. Nice screen real estate as well. It's pretty good, that, actually. Honestly, I'm a genius. Absolute genius. Oh, man. That is too funny. Honestly. I am. So with the bike mount, you get 3 little... I guess you call them tension bands. So depending on the thickness of the bar that you're going to put this through, you've got 3 different size apertures. Yeah, that's probably the right word. You know, I'm a photographer, videographer. Should probably use that word. So yeah, you get 3 different tension bands. So it's going to fit on most handlebars. So you're not going to have a problem with that. So as you can see, it's a really strong fix. Quick and easy to put on, especially with the magnets that locate it into position. And it's also MagSafe compatible, whatever that means. So why Mous and not one of the other brands such as QuadLock or Peak Design? Because they also do very similar products. So if you're unfamiliar with Mous, QuadLock or even Peak Design, I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't know who Peak Design are. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the brands, they're all very reputable brands. They all offer very high quality products and they all have a very similar multifunctional phone case product whereby they've got some form of mounting system that allows you to put your phone on really quick and easy. So why Mous? Well, firstly, it's price. Always price with me, or should I say value, because this time it's not about the price and the cheapest option. It's actually about value for money. So for example, the Mous iPhone 16 Pro case, along with the bike mount and the universal mount, cost me about £75. Now that sounds quite expensive, but not for what you get. Whereby the QuadLock with the iPhone 16 Pro case, along with a bike mount that's very similar to the one that I got from Mous, was about £80. But that didn't include the universal mount. Now they do have a ton of other mounts available, but none of them were like the universal mount, so I didn't really want any of the others, so I would have just got the bike mount, to be fair. And Peak Design, they just didn't stand a chance, to be fair. They were so expensive. Honestly, ridiculously expensive. Now the phone cases themselves are all very evenly priced, like QuadLock, Mous, Peak Design, all about £40 or thereabouts. It's the mounts that cost the money. So if you go for Mous, for example, the bike mount and the universal mount, they were about £15 to £25 each. QuadLock, you're looking at about £30 to £40. It depends on which kind of mount you go for. And Peak Design, oh my god, I hope you sat down, because Peak Design are just insane. For the same kind of bike mount that I bought for Mous, the Peak Design option is £67.99. What are you doing, Peak Design? Like, seriously, why is it so expensive? That means that just for that one mount and just for that one case, I'm spending well over £100. Madness. And they don't stop there. You can get some mounts from £40, which is already way above the rest, right? All the way up to, he's sat down, he's still sat down, he hasn't stood up, £170 for a mount. I mean, let that sink in. £170 for a mount, for a phone, for a case. What are you thinking, Peak Design? What are you thinking? £170? Are you mad? You absolutely mad? It's crazy talk. Plus, if I ever wanted to buy a mount in the future, I have to get a bank loan, remortgage the house. My son's not off to university. Ridiculous. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? So yeah, cost had a major factor to play. Obviously, it always does with me. But this time it actually had a proper factor to play because it was a better product. Like, I felt like I was getting a bargain. And I love it when I feel like I'm getting a bargain, even if it's just like £5 discount. But it's worth mentioning that regardless of the price, right, all 3 systems offer very similar mounting systems, if you know what I mean. So they all have like your typical bike mounts, your motorcycle mounts, and then like your in-car mounts, and even a desk mount, right? However, they do have their own kind of individual, unique mounts as well that you might find is better for your needs. So you might find that you have to spend 250 quid on Peak Designs if that's the way you want to go. So it's worth mentioning. Now the second reason I chose Mous was because of the design. Such a nice design. Like, I really do like the way that it looks. I'm not just saying that because it was cheaper than the rest. It feels and looks rugged. Like, it just looks more my style. So it's a lot grippier in the hands. Unlike the QuadLock, which is very smooth, so it can easily just slip. So yeah, I do like the rugged textured feel of these. They do feel very premium, very sturdy, high quality product. And the third reason I chose Mous was the actual mounting mechanism itself. It just seemed to be the best out of all three. Not only does the design allow for it to be much slimmer, but it also has magnets which kind of allow it to auto align and fix a lot quicker. You simply hover the phone somewhere over the mount, the magnets lock into place, and then you just push and it snaps in. Done. Whereas Quadlock, not only is it a little bit bulkier and a little bit thicker, but apparently it's very fiddly to get it into position. Now it's not a deal breaker, but it's just another point that goes to Mous. Peak Design, they also had a very nice mechanism, but they lost me at the price. So that was a no-go. And the fourth reason I chose Mous was because of their air shock technology. I mean, this brand is known for protecting phones. I mean, I don't know if you've seen them throw it off of skyscrapers and chuck them up in the air. I don't personally buy it. Like, I don't believe that if I drop this phone from, I don't know, 4 or 5 stories up, that it's going to survive, because I really don't trust that it would do that. Like, it's still got corners. I don't understand how they do that, but I'm not going to test it. Not for you guys anyway, not unless you want to sponsor me or pay me to do it. So if you want to see how durable and strong these cases are, I suggest you go and watch one of their videos, because I'm not going to test it here. You honestly thought I would have thrown it in the air? Not a chance, not a chance. So yeah, that's why I chose the Mous case over the rest. Did I make the right choice? Yeah, I honestly think I did. I really do like the fact that it's well designed, it's rugged, it just looks sleek, and the mechanism for the mounts is just, it's just seamless. Like, I was really impressed. I like the fact that it's been tried and tested for durability and strength, because that's what Mous are known for. I really love the fact that out of the three, it was the cheapest option, but not the cheapest in quality. Like, value for money, honestly, I would choose the Mous case over those three any day. And finally, I'm just really impressed at how easily the phone can attach to these mounts. Especially the bike mount. I don't even know how they do it, honestly. You just have to hover over the top of the bike mount, and it kind of like snaps and locks into place. You barely even need to push it down. I don't get it. Like, you just, that's it, done. Locked into place. It's not coming away till you pinch these little blue things. And from my brief testing, it seems extremely secure, shock resistant, doesn't show any signs of loosening over time. I'm not much of a mountain biker, but I was pleasantly surprised at how secure this felt. Like, I was bombing down this track. When I say bombing, I was doing, I was going fairly fast for a very old guy. I'm not going to give you my age, but yeah, an old guy. I was bombing down this hill, and I was expecting, these micro jitters, so you wouldn't be able to see the screen properly. Like, you know what I mean? When it just sort of wobbles like that, and you can't really read what's going on. So if you've got a map on there or anything like that, it'd make it pointless. I was expecting that. I was expecting some form of wobble. You know when you buy like a cheap iPhone stand thing that goes onto your car windscreen, and you think, oh yeah, that'll be great, and then you put it on your car, and then you start driving, it's like this. What's the point? I was expecting that, especially on a mountain bike when you're bombing down a hill. Right, but none of it. Honestly, it was so secure. It did not wobble. It showed no signs of moving. I was very impressed. So yeah, a little tip. The bike mount, you can actually get one that's called a stem mount, which goes on the stem of the handlebars. So it's a little bit more secure because it's not sitting out in front, whereas this would just sort of poke out at the front like that. Now, if you're just doing like road biking or just very casual riding, then there's nothing to worry about. But if you're doing a bit of mountain biking, if you're anything like me and you're going to fall off at some point, I'd be worried that that'd be the first thing that crashes on the ground if it's out in front, right? So the stem mount allows it for it to sit on top of the handlebars. So the handlebars are probably going to be the first thing that hits the floor. But with this mount, you can actually turn it around like that and fix it that way around. And then the phone itself sits over the top of the mount, over the stem, sorry. So it's kind of like you got the best of both worlds. So if you're doing some sort of aggressive riding, you might want to go for the stem mount anyway, but if you also want the versatility of this one, where you can put it out in front for like better visibility, then yeah, get this. Best of both worlds. Little pro tip for you. And also the cool thing about this is they give you a little like tightener, like finger tightener that you can use, which provides a very secure fit, and that's the one that I used when I was doing the tests, and it showed no signs of going anywhere. But if you do want a little bit more of a secure, tighter fit, if you're a bit worried, right, they do provide you with a little screw and an Allen key that you can then fix into place, and it can be a bit more of a permanent fixture. So yeah, overall, I am extremely impressed with this product, and as I said, I've not been sponsored, so all these thoughts and opinions are of my own. I wish they did sponsor me, but even if they did, honestly, I would always tell the truth. I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I would not recommend a product that I personally would not buy myself. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, hit the bell, all those nice things that will put a smile on my face. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
I know you heard a little something about me, right? People love to talk, everybody wanna doubt me, right? I know, bunch of fakes all around me, right? They clowning like I ain't hear what it sounding like. I know these fools hating on the low, smiling all in my face, stab me in the back though.